Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat for Career Mode. Today we have a huge opportunity at Darlington with a 5-star Cup hot seat in the Cup Series. Obviously for Stewart-Haas Racing it was supposed to be the 9 car for Chase Elliott, but it did change after I came back onto the game. The goal is to finish in the top 3 if we want to get a 5-star ride for next season, so hopefully we can do that. So we're going to get straight into things here at Darlington.
NASCAR's in Darlington for the running of the Bojangles Southern 500. This unique egg-shaped oval, known as the track Too Tough to Tame, has become home to the Throwback Weekend. Join us as we celebrate 7 decades of NASCAR.
Alright, there you have it from Rick Allen now as we get ready to go green here for the Bojangles Southern 500 and Darlington Raceway. Brendan Gaughan has been struggling all weekend. Jimmy Johnson failed optical scanning station multiple times, so Jimmy Johnson will be starting at the back as Joey Logano is on the pole there with Kyle Larson on the outside front row as we get ready to start things out here at Darlington from the number 14 car, kind of close to the mid-pack, about P15 now as the green flag is out. It's actually 13th that we qualified now as we are underway here for our final Cup Series race of the season. A chance to get a 5-star ride with Stewart-Haas Racing next season as we go down through turns 1 and turns 2. Obviously, we race for Stewart-Haas in the Xfinity Series, so it would only be fitting to be driving for this team next season in our rookie season for the Cup Series. Now as we go down this back straightaway, pushing Ryan Blaney as we go down towards turns 3 and turns 4. For this first time, there's Joey Logano is pulling out to a pretty substantial margin right now as Daniel Suarez tries to make a move up there past Kyle Larson for second place now as we exit turn 4 heading down this front straightaway. Coming through to complete the first lap, we edge out Ryan Blaney to take P10, so we gain 3 spots on this opening lap here at Darlington. This was only a 26-lap race. I forgot to have the stages. I messed up the length for it a bit there as we came out of turn 4, heading down the front straightaway at this point at the end of lap 2, and we would close in on the back of both Martin Truex Jr. and Daniel Suarez in the number 41 car there as we came to lap 7, just 20 laps to go at this point, and it's certainly looking like a top 3 might not happen at this point. We're struggling to get our way through traffic. We definitely have some speed in this car now as we go through turns 3 and turns 4, just trying to find a way past Suarez and Truex, but going 3 wide was very risky. I learned that already here at Darlington, so I make a move to the outside here, the 41 of Suarez as we go down towards turns 1, and then he moves up the track just a little bit, and I decide to back out of him, trying to keep the car as clean as possible. Obviously, we don't want to damage the car right now as we come through the center of the corner on the exit of turn 2, trying to find every chance I can to get past Suarez, and sure enough now, we build up a run to look to the inside of Suarez as we go down towards turns 3, and we are going to make that pass. A lot cleaner of the passes that we were making, than we were making in Bristol now as we came through on lap 10, closing in once again on the back of Truex and P9. We build up a huge run through the center of the corner, and we're going to take a risk and make a move to the outside of Truex as we head down the back straightaway. The move works, and now we're up into the 8th position as we go down towards turn 3. Truex back in front of us, goes sliding into the outside wall, and we keep on to it. He holds onto his car. We take back P8 there from Truex as we exit turn 4. Now we would come through on lap 12, starting to close in on the back of Kyle Busch and both Brad Keselowski as we came through turns 3 and turns 4. Joey Logano continuing to lead the race at this point as we went down the front straightaway using that draft from the 18 of Kyle Busch. I really like to go down to the inside by the white line on the straightaway at this track for some reason. I'm not quite sure the reasoning behind that, but certainly a bit of a habit I've noticed that the AI takes at this track now as we come through on the exit of turn 2. Busch looks to the inside of Keselowski, and I'm going to take a risk, and we're going to make a 3 wide with both Kyle Busch and Keselowski into turn 3. I cut down just barely onto the apron, and we keep it straight and make a 2-for-1 pass right there as we come through to take P6 now as we came through on lap 15, hitting 11 to go. Now making a pass on Kyle Larson and putting the pressure on Denny Hamlin, so continuing to move forwards as the tires kind of wore in this race. It was certainly playing into, once again, my advantage, kind of like it did in the Xfinity Series a little bit there in the last episode. Now as we came down the back straightaway, all over the back of Denny Hamlin, we're going to look to the outside of him as we go down towards turn 3, trying to make the move on the outside, but just didn't quite make it work. So as we came through a lap later on lap 17, Hamlin moves up the track through turns 1 and turns 2. We have to take advantage, of course, so I look to the inside on the exit of turn 2, nearly making contact with the 11 of Hamlin, but we keep it clean and now move up into P4, but we need one more spot if we want to complete the hot seat and get a 5-star ride for next season. and we started to slowly close in on the cars up ahead, but it was certainly not as quick as I had wanted to. The leaders had started to work their way through lap traffic, and that was really what was going to start helping me close that gap, because they can get through lap traffic better at most tracks, it seems, but they still struggle a bit compared to myself. Now as we came through on the exit of turn 2 on lap 20, 2.3 seconds behind Logano and a second and a half behind third place. Now as we close in on Brendan Gunn, and we end up getting a caution as we go down towards turns 3. I could not find what brought the yellow flag out, but we would get ready to go green here from the 4th position late in Darlington. Only a handful of laps remain now as Joey Logano and Kevin Harvick lead the way as the green flag is out. We need P3. We restart P4 now as just 4 laps remain at Darlington Raceway. We have a Stuart Haas Racing teammate of Kevin Harvick up ahead as we go down through turns 1 and turns 2 for the first time on this restart. Kyle Larson looks to my inside. I decided to play just a little bit careful on this restart, make sure we don't make a mistake, but we get sideways and almost take out Kyle Busch in the process there as he hangs on to it thankfully as we go down towards turns 3 and turns 4. I just simply lost the back end on the exit of turn 2 and just about cleaned out Kyle Busch, unfortunately, now as we came through on the exit of turn 4. And now as we came through on approaching 2 laps to go, we had made a move to the inside of Kevin Harvick after Kyle Larson had made a pass on him. As we come through to start 2 laps to go here in Darlington, we move back into P4 as we come through on the inside of Kevin Harvick, who continues to battle on the outside, but he doesn't quite have the speed at this moment. So we clear Kevin Harvick and now set our sights on Kyle Larson as we exit turn 2, a lap and a half to go, and we need one more position to complete the hot seat as we go down towards turns 3. Kyle Larson is obviously the car we need to pass. We give him a little bit of a bump in turn 3, but he holds on to the car, and it looked like we actually gave him a boost of speed as we came out of turn 4. Heading down the front straightaway, the white flag is in the air. Kevin Harvick right behind us now as Joey Logano leads the way as we go down into turns 1 and turns 2 for the final time. 1 spot needed, and we close in on the back of the 42 of Kyle Larson as we exit turn 2. He moves up the track. We look to the inside as we make contact on the exit of turn 2, heading down the back straightaway. Side by side as we go down into turn 3 for the final time. Larson goes sliding into the outside wall, and he hangs on to the car behind us, but now we take over P3 as we exit turns 4. Larson trying to get back to us, but he doesn't quite have enough time as we come through to successfully complete the hot seat with a 3rd place finish here in Darlington, with Joey Logano winning the race. Made a little bit of contact with Larson down the back straightaway. Unfortunately, just a little bit of contact will send a car sliding around, so that was unfortunate, but either way we completed it, and now we go to Indianapolis here for the Xfinity Series. Indianapolis is a track that I've always struggled at in the past year in NASCAR Heat 3, at least now, is Cole Custer. He was obviously a good friend, so look for him to be a draft partner in this race, as we had some drivers crash during qualifying, like Jeff Green, Josh Bilicki. He failed pre-race inspection, so Jeff Green and Bilicki both sent to the back for this race, as I wasn't really looking forward to coming to this track at Indianapolis. It wasn't a great qualifying effort, as I was dealing with a very, very tight car. Now, as the green flag is out, though, and we are underway from Indianapolis. And like I said, in qualifying I was dealing with a really tight car, so I knew that was going to be a problem in this race now, as stage 1 and 2 are only about 3 laps or so here as we go down towards turns 1. Obviously, Indy, a pretty long track, so the laps are going to be a little bit shorter here now as we come through on the exit of the corner. So I'm running the loosest preset setup that they give us in this game, and I was still dealing with a pretty tight car, so that was a bit of a concern coming into this race now as we head down the back straightaway. Jeffrey Earnhardt making a 3 wide with Gregson, and Greg Golding now is going down this back straightaway using that draft as we look to the inside of Gregson, and now make it 3 wide with him, and Jeffrey Earnhardt is go down towards turns 3 now as we come through the center of the corner, trying to move ourselves towards a top 10 position on this opening lap after starting P15 here in Indianapolis behind both Jeremy Clements and Cole Custer. We get into the back of Clements just a little bit there as we come through on the exit of turn 4, and now you see Cole Custer up ahead. He's in a very interesting situation, like I mentioned over the past episodes. He's second in points, but he finds himself barely inside the playoffs right now. He's either in or he's out. It just keeps switching around now as we go down at this point on the final lap of the first stage here on lap 3, coming through turns 2 on the exit of the corner. Heading down the back straightaway, we get to the wall though, and that puts a lot of damage on the outside, or the right side of the car, and that makes the tight car even tighter from at this point on now. now as we came through on the exit of turns 4 at this point on the white flag in the stage, getting tight once again. And now Gray Golding looks to the inside as we try to side draft him, but I had nothing for him as we come through to cross the line, and we get P10 here in the first stage. So very disappointing, as it looked like we were showing a little bit of speed there, moving our way through the field, and then I just knocked the wall down like an idiot and unfortunately damaged the car. I knew if we pitted, we wouldn't have enough time to work our way through the field because Indianapolis track position is so important at this racetrack. So we stay out and deal with the damage now as the green flag is out and stage 2 is underway here at Indianapolis behind Jeremy Clements, who won very recently in our career mode with a victory at Road America. Obviously, he's no stranger to winning at Road America, so very good on him to have another win there, as that's not a good restart for myself. We got Christopher Bell looking to the inside, Clements a little bit sideways now as we come through into turns 2. Now Gregson looks to my inside, and there's our rival of Ross Chastain at my left rear now, and he's going to find our left rear as he tries to turn us towards the infield, and we hang on to it, but Chastain doesn't as he goes spinning down the back straightaway, and that's going to end up bringing out a yellow and ending the stage 2 very early here in Indianapolis. Tyler Reddick wins the stage, and Chastain just straight up tried to turn us, and he almost was successful actually. The car just about went into the inside, into the infield, into the inside, well possibly, but we kept control of the car. Chastain didn't, and all of a sudden this decent race that was going for us in the beginning of stage 1 has turned into a bit of a downhill slide at this point now, as the final stage would be underway here at Indianapolis, getting very aggressive on this restart there, making it 3 wide with Christopher Bell as we go down into turns 1, passing John Hunter Nemechek in the process now as we look to the inside of Clements, getting into the back of Earnhardt just a little bit there, as they do like to check up still as we go down towards turns 2 with 6 laps to go here at Indianapolis at this point now, as we exit turn 2, a little bit of contact there with the 23 of John Hunter Nemechek now as we go down this back straightaway, using that draft to the best I can. Now as we're going to look to the inside of Earnhardt and 51 of Jeremy Clements as we go down towards turns 3, now trying to make some passes here and regain all these positions lost now as we go down on the exit of turn 3 into turn 4, running P10 at this point. Tyler Reddick leading the way with Michael Annette putting on some pressure as we come out of turn 4, nearly getting into the wall as the car was just so tight, unfortunately, here at Indianapolis now as we came through with just 3 to go. John Hunter Nemechek had actually gotten back into the mix now as we were battling him through turns 1. He's on my outside. I know that a car on my outside isn't necessarily what we need right now with how this car is handling. Now as we exit turn 2, a little bit of contact made there with Nemechek, and he makes a great save as we go down this back straightaway, trying to side draft him. I really wanted to not let up this fight here as we continue to side draft Nemechek down the back straightaway as we go down towards turns 3, and side by side still for P10, and Nemechek has the edge because I have to get out of the throttle so much there to keep the car slowed down. So as we come through now to start the final lap here at Indianapolis, still P11 at this point though behind Allgaier and Justin Haley. Nemechek working his way forwards. Tyler Reddick still leading the way as we go down into turns 2 for this final time here at Indianapolis behind Justin Haley. We'd love to get a top 10, so we're going to do what we can here to get past the 11 cars. We go down the back straightaway. A lot of speed here with the draft. We look to the inside now of Justin Haley side by side as we go down towards turn 3, and we clear him just before the corner so we can slide up just a bit and now hold on to that position here from Haley as we come through the exit now of turns 3 down this little short straightaway into turns 4 for the final time behind Justin Allgaier. Haley a little bit wide on the exit of the corner, and that should solidify the position. Now as we do get sideways though, and Haley does actually put on a little bit of pressure behind me, but we are going to be able to hang on to come through to get a 10th place finish here at Indianapolis. Tyler Reddick with the victory, and obviously a top 10 for us here, as now there's only going to be one race left in the regular season, so that's going to certainly get interesting for a driver like Cole Custer, who's currently the last spot in, but he's only in by 7 points, I think it is, because the first guy out of 20th is Ray Black Jr., and if he can get in, Cole Custer will be out of the playoffs. So as always, if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be very appreciated. So I will see you guys in the next one where we decide the playoff grid. So thank you for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a great day.